Hello and welcome to another video. This week, I'm going to show you one tiny ASO tweak that 10x'd our revenue and 30x'd our installs. This shows you our App Store Connect dashboard. For almost a 1-year period, we got 1,200 installs. This is what my life used to be like. And as you can see on average, we got maybe 1 to 3 installs usually. Are in the top days when we turn on advertising, we would get 20 to maybe 40 installs with ads. Now, a year later, during that same time period, 32,000 installs. This is without advertising and as a side project. We're not building these apps full-time by any stretch of the imagination. No social media, no marketing, no nothing really. We're not even working on the apps. We're not building new features. This is all from this one tiny ASO hack, which I'm going to talk about in this video. As you can see, we started to get 50, 60 installs, and it became normal to get north of 100 installs. Then we started to get a couple hundred installs a day, a regular basis. No ads, no new features, no social media. It is so simple, but it turns everything upside down. And I'm going to show you everything in this video. You can watch over my shoulder. So let's talk about a typical app developer story. Whether you're an indie developer or a startup or a small company with an app, you might find that you had a similar journey to myself. I had an idea for an app, breathwork app. I did breathwork. I saw breathwork was a popular category. I thought the breathwork is the next meditation. So I built an app based on my idea, and then I found some keywords and I started to do metadata research and keyword research. And I'm sure you've seen all of these before. So our name for this app was Breathwork for Anxiety, for Stress and Anxiety, subtitle Breathing Exercises and Breathing Method. I couldn't fit the breathing method, so I just put in the method. And the typical way this works is that you'll use a tool. Here I'm using AppTweak. It's my favorite tool for ASO. Link below, by the way, if you want to get a 10% discount. But you would put in a keyword like breathwork that has pretty good search volume. So 36 is a good high enough volume, or something like breathing that has lower volume, but still good enough. And then you'll try to find auxiliary keywords or keywords that are what we call long tail keywords. So they have lower search volume, but also low competition, because this keyword has a lot of competition. Let's do live search and let's take a look at the breathwork keyword. And as you can see, number one app uses the same keyword breathwork, and there's a lot of apps that use the keyword breath or breathwork. There's another one, there's another one. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So much competition. So it'll be really, really hard for you to rank number one organically because this competition is strong. There's a lot of them and high quality. You know, this app, for example, has 1,000 reviews. That's huge. Number one app, 17,000 reviews, pretty much 5.0. This is amazing. So it'd be really hard to compete. And then what you do, you'll try to find smaller and smaller keywords with less and less traffic. That's the traditional way. That's what I call the traditional ASO. And I have some bad news for you. Traditional ASO does not work anymore. I know a lot of people on YouTube and everywhere else will try to tell you, and plenty of ASO tools, they'll charge you a lot of money to get this type of results, but it doesn't work. It worked 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, but mostly 10 years ago, when there was not a lot of apps. The difficult part was building an app. So there wasn't a lot of apps. And then you could put in a keyword like breathwork, and eventually with some ASO optimization, you would get ranking, and eventually you'd become number one, and then you could really scale your bet. And that's the dream that we all have as app developers, as indie devs, as people with small companies. But building an app has become the easiest part. That's super simple. The difficult part is getting the attention, getting distribution. And so there are so many apps flooding the market. This strategy simply doesn't work because there's way too much competition. And even the tiny keywords that are long tail, which means they have low search volume, even those are taken up by 100 other apps. So it doesn't work. But here comes the good news. There is a way to win big on the App Store with a massive opportunity every single day. So this project that I started with, I had an idea, built an app, then I did ASO. I flipped the script completely upside down about a year later, and that would make a huge difference. I started with ASO, then I built the app. Now let me show you what that looks like. For example, I was looking at the App Store and I found a keyword called hair product scanner. As you can see, this keyword had pretty much no search volume. 11 is very, very low, next to nothing in 2022. And then it started to slowly grow a little bit higher. There was a bigger spike here, continued to grow. And in the last couple of months, it really grew up and it peaked at 28, which is very good. And now it's around 21. It'll continue going up and down, but I think it's going to continue upwards as a general trend. Now, why is this the magic opportunity on the App Store? If a keyword was never popular before, like in this case, and becomes popular, nobody's using this keyword. Hair product scanner, nobody's using that because it wasn't a keyword. It's not something that ASO people even looked at. But when it becomes popular, there is no competition. Literally nobody is building these type of apps because it's so new, and it takes several years, and now it's becoming faster. So now it's a few months, but it still takes a very long time for most companies to catch up and actually do this. So you have the opportunity to, when you see a keyword like this, build an app, build it quickly, and rank very fast. Let me show you what we did. So we built our app and we launched it on May 23rd. We built it very quickly. It took us 1 week. This was a super simple MVP. As you can see, we uploaded it here just the day before. The day after we launched 1.0 version, we ranked number 35. Immediately, we went up to rank number 7. We did a quick update over here on some ASO and screenshots. And then we continued to rank up higher and higher. And we were number 2 most of the time. And then it goes up and down a little bit. You know, you go down to 4 or 5. But generally, we're in the top 5. No marketing, no ads, no social media posting, not even no ASO. This was just a screenshot update. We don't do anything. We're not building any features. We have not touched this app since launch, and it continues to rank in top 5. As this keyword becomes more popular, as I expect the trend to continue growing, we're going to be positioned in top 5. We continue getting more installs and more revenue. This is a money-making machine, as close as you can get to a money-printing machine. You build it once, and as close as you can get to passive income. It's not passive income. I'm not selling you a dream that doesn't exist. You do have to do the work, but once you do it, it works. And of course, as the popularity of the keyword becomes higher and higher, more competition will come, and then we'll have to defend. We'll have to build more features. We might have to do some ads and marketing, but we will already be the best position app because we rank. And even though we rank number 2 or number 3 and 5, the other apps above us don't use this keyword. There are other products that have been around the App Store for a very long time, many, many years, so they get the preferential treatment. But we're still number 1 in terms of the people that use this keyword. So we're going to continue staying on top. So you might think, okay, this sounds wonderful in theory, but how do I find the keywords? I am very glad that you asked. I want to show you exactly how I do the process. But first, I want to show you that I created a private community on school.com/app success, where we do a weekly call. So it's every Thursday. And on this week, I look at the top trending keywords on the App Store. I've been on the App Store for 10 years now. I've seen a lot of the market move. So I look at the trending keywords every single week, and I share my screen, and then I let people steal all the keywords that I find and build apps. So in this community, we're building together and we're all winning and growing together. So if you want to join, check out the link below. That's the main attraction, I would say, of the school. We also have a classroom section where I drop in all of my courses from Udemy and from all the other platforms. I'm putting everything in here. And of course, we have a lively community where I answer every single question that people ask me, and I share the best nuggets and the best piece of wisdom and everything I found. For example, here I shared a file with the top performing onboardings, and I let people steal and use everything that I have. But enough of selling my school. This is how I find trending keywords. First of all, I'm using the App Tweak, which is my favorite tool, and I use the enterprise version, which you need to do this. And in there are trending keywords, so you can see which keywords have become popular recently. For example, dating advice is one that I found that is pretty interesting. You look at the search volume, dating advice, so it was not popular, and it recently skyrocketed to a huge number. 30, 31 is very, very good. I built apps for anything that has a search volume of 20 or more. So that is my limit personally. Others do it for smaller or for higher, whatever you want to do, but that's just what I do. So this is one example how you can find trending keywords. Then there is also other tools like Astro, for example. We also use Astro, where you can find keywords that were not popular before, but are popular now. And another great tool is Google Trends. As you can see on Google Trends, it is a similar thing. The keyword was not very popular, and then it has skyrocketed. The keyword of dating advice skyrocketed to number 100. And this is because of a viral trend, because here, if you go to a live search, you can see this app, Dating Advice, became viral, and that is why the keyword is number 1. So if you join the school, there I break down every single keyword and we talk about what is a good opportunity, what is not, based on competition, based on search volume, based on all the other variables that are in there. We do like a deep dive analysis, but this is generally how we approach it. And Google Trends is a great way to also do it. Be aware that Google Trends is not the best alternative. And also think about your own online behavior. The stuff that you type into Google is quite different than what you type into App Store when you're looking for a different app. Our search behavior on mobile and desktop is quite different. Sometimes you can find similarities, but there are differences. I have found a couple of keywords using Google Trends, but it takes a lot more experience. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Ask me any questions in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. And as always, feel free to join our community. If you are on this journey and you take it seriously, you want to become an amazing, active app builder like all of the legends in this community. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week.